The My Turn Racing Truck Series heads over to the Brickyard of Indianapolis Motor Speedway here for the fifth of 9 races. And this is, as always, the Racing Line Broadcasting Network bringing you the action here for tonight's 50-lap event. So once again here at the Brickyard for the My Turn Racing Truck Series, as of the last week of Lucas Oil, Ian Cornish is somehow still in the lead in points by only 20 points away from Josh Wong, who is up to second in points. Adam Wright still second in points as well, also 20 points behind. So effectively second or third, tied for second in points either way. Nigel DeJong is fourth in points. Fifth is Mike Robertson. Pretty much everyone had gained some type of position in the points. Huge majority of the field in the top 10 of points, I should say. Jake Forrester, unfortunately, falling 8 positions out of the top 10 as he did not show up last week, I don't believe. I'm not seeing him here at the moment, but that's just for the time being. We will definitely see if he's here or not. But other than that, Nigel DeJong currently in the first place position on the pole for the time being in qualifying. Stats for this the past races here actually at Indianapolis within this league, well, I would count to say how many drivers got top 5. I'll just say that there is a lot. There's only 4 races here in the past what looks to be about 4 years, and this is actually the first time that the My Turn Racing Truck Series has come back within pretty much over a year, as they have had 47 laps in 2015, and then 50 laps from 2016 Season 1, 2016 Season 3, and 2017 Season 3 as well. And of course, they did not race 2018 whatsoever, and unfortunately they had 8 drivers in 2017 Season 3, so it kind of made sense to really put the Brickyard off for about a year, definitely longer than usual. Now we can see that there's a great turnout. I'm counting 28 drivers now in this race. I believe it's the most drivers as well. Second most, actually, as 2015 Season 4 had 29 drivers. So very, very close, as the grid is just now up. But just before we get to that, as always, I am Gary Weaver, bringing you the commentary and the camera angles as well, except for that one I don't remember setting. But either way, we are here for a pretty interesting race. So we have Nigel DeJong on the starting grid, starting in first place. We'll see if we can get a focus on him, or at least Ian Cornish, who starts second place, as per usual. We're going to be seeing... is DeJong in a different car number, or is that just the... no, DeJong is in a different car number. That's actually quite interesting. Either someone took DeJong's number, yep, just by mistake. So DeJong for this week is in the number 20, instead of his usual 41. Second row is going to hold 6 of Matthew Dalton and the 91 of Reese Saunders. And you can see just ever so slightly that the overcast is starting to set in with the cloud cover here at the very least. Saunders starts in 4th, rounding out the top 5. It's going to be the 19 of Josh Wong. I don't remember him being in the 19 either, although numbers are a little bit messed up just for this week. So hopefully next week everyone can get their numbers sorted out. Of course, it's a few other drivers have their own number set, so that could make sense of the conflict. Aside from that, though, Jonathan Rex starts in 6th in the number 27. Jake Forrester is back. He's starting in the 7th place position with the number 82 to his outside. You can see in that very bright yellow and red truck, that is Ashley Blake Hood. And then we will have, running up the top 10, Doug Pickering in the number 2, along with the 31 of Mark Redford. Lance Brostrom is in 11th. 12th place is going to be Adam Wright. 13th is the 59 of John Jarrett. The 8 of Carl Jacqueline starts to his outside. And in 14th, we have the 303 of Stuart Barnett rounding out the top 15. Then we have 16th place is going to be Doug Kinraid. 17th place is going to be Robert Noble Eddy. Christopher Kearney in the 28 starts 18th. 19th is going to be Simon Marshall. 20th is going to be Jim Carr. Chris Bourne starts in the 21st position. And then Ben Summers, to his outside in the number 77, starts in the 22nd place position. 23rd is going to be Aaron Maspero, who was in the 41 this week, accidentally taking DeJong's regular car number. Carl Hayes starts in the 96. Stuart Pomfrey in the 36 starts in 25th. Lance Simon starts 26th. 27th, Mark Murphy. 28th is Mike Robertson. And rounding up the 20... Actually, no, that's it. And Mike Robertson actually rounds up the 28-car field here for tonight. So number 20 in a different vehicle for this week. Or a different car number, I should say. It's going to be Linus Brostrom bringing the field to the green. So race 5 of 9, just as of last week, it held in the point standings. Ian Cornish in the lead. Nasha DeJong is 4th place in points. That's point standings where that number 81 is in the lead. Pace car heavy left-hand turn pulls off. We're about to go green here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for 50 laps. Green flag is out, and we are underway here for this first race pretty much within the year in the My Turn Racing Truck Series. And already a great start by Nasha DeJong as everything starts to cycle through over on the timing. Second place side-by-side battle as for some reason Carl Hayes is being shown in the lead, but other than that, Matthew Dalton gets ahead of the 91, and some major issues for Cornish. His airnet has just dropped out for the time being, so we're not sure if he's off the track or not. He's being shown in 6th place right now. There he is. Oh, man. I'll quickly single file the entire field. And we're going to be looking for some side-by-side battles as they crash. That's the 8 of Carl Jacqueline, 59, 58, 83. Multiple drivers involved. Caution is out for the first time with a very sizable crash off turn number 4. That's a 28 of Christopher Kearney, who's also involved. Mark Murphy, I believe that's who that purple car is. No, that's actually the 36, Stuart Pomfrey. Already problems early on in this race. We're going to find out what happened here on the replay once we get that pulled up here in a few moments' time. And a heavy, about what, 5-car incident off of turn number 4 early on. We're going to be seeing who had gotten involved specifically. We know it started around the 8 and the 83 themselves. That was Carl Jacqueline and Adam Wright. We're going to find out what happened here. Picture coming back up in a few moments. As the replay is up, we're going to slow it down just a little bit. And it looks like the 83 had just gotten way too close. I'm going to definitely look at this from a different angle. But off turn number 4, multiple drivers involved. That's the 12 as well. That is Simon Marshall getting a piece of that. And up over on the side, pretty much on the roof, goes the number 8, 58, hard into the inside wall, shoots back out into the 83. And I know Stuart Pomfrey got a piece of it. Where's the 28? Christopher Kearney had slid back up into the racetrack. Somehow nearly missing was that vehicle just in front. Can't get a car number at the moment. Pomfrey gotten tagged from behind by another vehicle. As the looks like the 54 of Mike Robertson. I just barely avoided that. Definitely taking a look from another angle, specifically a little bit of a chopper camera angle, just so we can see what exactly had happened as Carl Jacqueline is already off the raceway. More of a blimp camera angle. We're definitely zooming in on this one for sure. And no, it just looks like the 8 slid up. The 83 was just unfortunately there. My goodness. And then a little bit farther on the right-hand side of the screen, oh man, 36 of Pomfrey had slowed up. That was the 04 of Lance Simon. Man, Pomfrey had absolutely nowhere to go. Well, he did have somewhere to go, but unfortunately it was pretty much in the wall. That was Simon that had nowhere to go, I should say. As, well, he tried to slow up as well, more than likely, but definitely didn't work out in time. Yeah, you could hear him lift off. Oh yeah, he tried to slow up, but the 36 had slowed up so much to the point that the 04 just had no idea where he was going to go. So 18th through 28th, roughly about 10 cars. Not even 10 cars, well, 22nd through 28th is going to be the number of those cars involved in the accident that we first have here over on lap 1. So that looks to be about 4, 5, 6 cars involved in that first incident. We have a couple other drivers that had the pit road. Mike Robertson also involved. He's not directly in pit road. Well, he is now, I should say, but he did avoid the wreck, so he wasn't exactly involved. And Jake Forrester as well on the 44 here. He's also in pit road. So multiple drivers are pretty much out early on. Pace car lights are still active. So we may go ahead and probably get a in-car interview with somebody. But until then, though, while we still have the time, we want to let you know that this race is sponsored by the beautiful Inside and Out SCIO. Not sure what those letters stand for, unfortunately, but either way, this is Robbie Lindsay's charity race, and his giving site is justgiving.com/crowdfunding /racing for Alex 52. And we're going to fix that bit of an error on that side. There we go. And, well, trying to raise 1,000. I'm going to definitely mess up this currency. It's either pounds or euros. I'm assuming euros. But they're raising 1,000 euros. They're already at 760. That's what I saw before we went live here. And well, the story is in memory of his son Alex, who unfortunately took his own life last year. He's trying to raise 1,000 euros towards helping young adults and children of secondary age cope with the loss of a loved one and preventing and helping preventing the loss. The race will be the charity Beautiful Inside and Out, as they do tremendous work supporting young adults of all ages in coping and preventing the loss of a loved one. They do have a Facebook page as well, which is facebook.com/Beautiful Inside and Out, literally the word and. Beautiful Inside and Out SCIO. The contribution will be help paying for therapy sessions for individuals and group sessions as well. And the main amount of money is raised through iRacing, which of course is a main community or online community for motorsport sim racing. The charity race is going to be on February 26th at 8 p.m. I'm assuming GMT. And the qualifying will take place Sunday the 24th of this month, 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. And of course, well, the race details, the track is at Imola in the morning with dynamic weather, 52 entries maximum if that is possible. GTE class, 1 hour race, 75% fuel, and a rolling start as well. So caution lights, as you've noticed, are out. 45 laps to go when we get to the green. And, well, we'll see if we can get any driver interviews the next time around. Or not the next time around, I should say, if there is another caution. Definitely asking for that one with the commentators, of course. Update on Ian Cornish, as well, his start wasn't the best. He is now down to 8th place, unfortunately, already. 7th place, I should say, but he's 8th on the outside. Live scoring says otherwise. But nonetheless, green flag is going to fly once again here, as pace car will make its hard left-hand turn into its own safety pit road. Field in control as per usual by Nigel De Jong. Instead of the 20, it's the 41. Whoa, someone... It's almost a little bit of an accident there in the back. Green flag is back out. We are underway, and we're already 3 wide. The 303 of Stuart Barnett is going to be on the inside, but it's stuck in the middle. Looks like it's going to be the 82 of Blake Hood. No, yep, there goes the 82 around. Hard crash. Somehow no caution, as the 82's engine and their race is pretty much over with already. Got to make a hard left-hand turn right here off the racing surface. That 3 wide situation did not work out whatsoever, so we're currently watching the battle for 6th place between Jonathan Rex and the 27 top side inside the 81 of Ian Cornish. This track has definitely changed a lot, as we're going to see Jonathan Rex get pretty much on top of that back bumper of the 81. Josh Wong in the 19 instead of his normal number 20. This could be on the top side right here, trying to fend off for that 5th place position on the top side. Some very close moments here on the corners. John Jarrett's running a little bit of a wide line, but Josh Wong unfortunately gets shuffled down back to 6th, as Cornish has finally made his way up. But look at this, Mark Redford in the back of the number 31. He's going to make a move on Jonathan Rex, and the 27 just decides to let him by for the time being. Crossover attempt could be possible, but that's not going to happen for now, unfortunately. Meanwhile, De Jong has cleared a little bit of a gap, almost a full second. So watch as we see a battle a little bit in the back. It's the 41 of Aaron Maspero. There's the 303 of Barnett. Look at Jake Forrester in the 14th place position. So every time we mention Jake Forrester, he's in a position that involves a 4, but just in front, that's a 13 Robert Noble Eddy. We barely saw him at the bottom of the screen. Mark Redford also got a little bit of a wall tap on the outside as well in turn 2. 3 wide down the back straightaway just for the time being. Could be 3 wide once again. Look at that move by Forrester. It's going to cause Redford to back off. Stuart Barnett is on a roll, but he's going to slide up the racetrack. 3 wide, makes contact with the 41, who's sent off to the inside. Heavy into the inside wall. No caution, though, as he is off the actual racing surface. That's what happens when you go 3 wide here. I'm surprised they're still trying to go 3 wide, because that does not work out. Caution is already out. That's for, I believe, a huge wreck. Somebody was in the air. That's the 064 of Jim Carr. Someone stuck up on their roof. I thought that was going to be a race control thrown for a moment. Not sure what the heck had happened, but somebody was flipping wildly. We'll see what happened here. Jim Carr in the 064 hits the wall. Outside wall spins around, and Jarrett, oh man, that's the 58 Jarrett. Hard shot again. That's not the 58 of Jarrett, sorry, that's the incorrect car number. That's thinking of the 59, although the 59 was involved. That's Mark Murphy. My goodness, Murphy just shot up into the stratosphere with that one. Well, I've seen everything, but unfortunately, though, that was a few laps of wildness right there. That's where the 41 decided to pull off the racetrack. I'm pretty sure he's pretty much done for the day. 64 spins out. There's Murphy. Heavy shot. Oh, the 2 of Pickering as well. The 2 of Doug Pickering was also involved. Simon instead of a yellow car, he's more of a instead of a dark car, he's now in the yellow car. But either way, 3 cars out now, and Indianapolis is not being forgiving whatsoever. Well, we're going to wait to do any in-car interviews for the time being, as these drivers more than likely have plans to head to pit road, so we'll hold off on any driver interviews for the time being. As De Jong is bump drafting the pace car. Looking through the field, about 17 cars remain on the actual racetrack for the time being of 28, and while we can see why, as Indianapolis is seems to be about as wild as an IndyCar race. That's just in terms of pretty much anything race related. As well, 58, or sorry, Saunders decides to stay out. Everyone else, quite literally everyone else, decides to head into pit road for the second caution. Saunders has not pitted whatsoever, as he's having his trademark connection issues. We'll be seeing who heads off pit road first. De Jong into his pit stall. Ian Cornish also in. So more than likely, probably 4 tires for pretty much everybody here for this second caution, 10 laps in. Not so much for those 4 tires, because I think De Jong just... no, he did take 4 tires. And Cornish was way late into his pit stop, probably getting some damage repaired, but... Cornish, I should say. Cornish is getting more bad luck. He's 9th, or 8th, I should say, off of pit road. Well, for the moment, we will see if we can get anyone in for an in-car interview. As a few drivers are still remaining in pit road for the time being. Almost everybody from 18th on back is pretty much out permanently. Aside from when we have 18th through 22nd are definitely retired and out of the race. 23rd through 26th are on pit road and still sort of active for the most part. There goes Saunders to pit road, and 27th and 28th are more than definitely out of pit road as well. We'll see what the lights do this time around, and then we will decide to make a decision on who to interview. Lights remain on. So we'll see if we can get the 27 of Jonathan Rex here in a few moments. Actually going to hold off on that, as I just realized a few technical issues. Alright, now let's see if we can get Jonathan Rex in here for this interview, as he's currently sitting in 5th. Jonathan Rex, do you have us?
I do.
Well, you are currently 5th place, only 12 laps in. How is the, well, we've seen how the racing is out there, a little bit of 3-wide action. How are you faring on the racetrack, and how's the racetrack handling?
It's a bit tight, I have to say, and it's difficult when you're close behind trying to get a proper line through the turns. So once you get some space, it's actually easier and quick.
Yeah, getting a little bit of space in single file is definitely a lot easier and quicker. Definitely simple as well, as well, there's not really anyone side by side. We have seen, well, we haven't seen much from you as of yet, but of course you are currently 5th, so there is that as well. Hopefully you will be able to advance your position, or at least hang on to the 5th place position for the rest of the race. We're going to go ahead and let you go, but thanks for your quick time.
You're welcome.
So that was Jonathan Rex in the 27 Hasn't done much yet, so we can't really talk about much, unfortunately. But he did say that the track was pretty tight and perfect timing as well, as we were back to 1 lap to green. You did hear him say the track was pretty tight, and there's not really much to handle. So, well, someone just nailed the cones over there. So we'll see how everything handles by the end of this race, as Matthew Dalton is a surprise entry up in the top 3, although I shouldn't be surprised he started in 3rd, so I should have seen that coming. We have seen him fall back out of the top 10, I believe, but he's just been hovering around. You don't really notice some of these drivers after the main start. You don't really remember their positions. You just remember, oh, well, they were here for a portion of the race. Next thing you know, they're back up front. So Matthew Dalton could have a challenge for the lead. Linus Brostrom restarts 3rd. Restarting 5th is going to be Jonathan Rex. We're missing somebody on the outside lane. That is John Jarrett, I believe, who is... no, Brostrom's just on the wrong line, I believe. 1st, 3rd, 5th. Nope, everyone's just a little bit staggered, so everything's fine. And your top 5 restarting is going to be De Jong, Dalton, Brostrom, Jarrett, and Rex. Some statistics. Well, the amount of cautions we had the past previous 4 races, which I don't believe are actually available. They are not actually. Other than that, previous 4 races have shown 4 winners each, 4 different winners. We're definitely going to be having a 5th here if everyone can keep up this momentum, as the green flag is back out. Nigel De Jong, it's a great start as per usual. And Linus Brostrom is already going to be attacking it for that 2nd place position on the inside of Matthew Dalton. John Jarrett in currently 4th place. Appropriately, the only driver to do all 4 races here at this racetrack in this league. And look at Jonathan. No, that's actually Jake Forrester, dives to the inside, the very far inside as well. He's going to have to move up the racetrack ever so slightly. 3 wide again in the middle pack. This is going to be a little bit sketchy as Carl Hayes has somehow made it through. That forces Chris Bourne in the 79 up top, and he's going to slide back 3 wide again. And, well, split 3 wide and pass 3 wide. It's going to be Mike Robertson. He's going to be falling back definitely, as Jake Forrester is currently up to 5th. Oh, there's the commentator's curse as Jonathan Rex is falling out of the top 5 for the time being. You can see how everyone is single file already for the time being. And I want to say that there's the 31 Mark Redford, 54 Mike Robertson. They're battling side by side. Saunders and Robert Noble Eddy are also side by side. Those battles are for 13th and 15th respectively, now just 15th. And look at Jake Forrester all the way on the inside of John Jarrett. He's already making this move straight up through the pack. So Jake Forrester in the 44 is now in 4th. Ian Cornish makes his move up to 5th. At least he's trying to right now, as Jarrett's going to be defending as best as he can on that top side, but for now it doesn't look like it'll happen. Jake Forrester for sure, though, is on a tear, but not as much as Nigel De Jong, who's, again, still in 1st, and he has been. We're going to see for how long. Well, 14 laps out of 16. So the only time he pretty much did not lead this race was pretty much during the cautions in pit road. Matthew Dalton is up to 2nd, Linus Brostrom in 3rd. We haven't seen Brostrom in the top 3 in a while. And we're going to see if Nigel De Jong can be the 5th different driver to win the 5th race at Indianapolis. In fact, the only driver that's won the previous... Actually, no, 2 drivers that won previous races here were Doug Pickering. Unfortunately, he is out. Same with Aaron Matsborough. He's also out. So the 2 previous race winners are out of this race, and there's not really anyone else can do about that. Unless something Nigel de Jong could do is add his name to that list that's ever expanding. As well, we can see the distance from 10th. Here's Carl Hayes in 10th, all the way to 11th of Doug Kinraid. That interval is actually only 0.2 seconds. And speaking of Kinraid, he's going to slide up on the top side in turn 3 into turn number 4. Not having the best momentum for the time being, but he's definitely hanging on to that truck as best as possible. Well, the driver with the most lead laps here, as you have a battle a little bit farther in the back, I believe. That was actually Stuart Barnett making it look to the inside, but either way, the driver with the most lead laps here at this racetrack is Doug Pickering with 48 laps. So already Nigel de Jong is in line to challenge for that statistic, as he is still making his way around the racetrack. 16 now coming to 17 laps led at the start-finish line. Oh, a little bit of sliding going on by the 56 of Jarrett. He's going to slide up the racetrack almost into the outside wall. And Josh Wong is going to be falling directly behind him onto the apron almost. He definitely got to the curb, so that's going to upset his traction just ever so slightly. Looking ahead at a brewing battle for third place as well. Not only has Jake Forrester reeled in Linus Broström, but I think Matthew Dalton is starting to reel in Nigel de Jong as well. We're going to keep an eye on Jake Forrester for the time being, as they head down the ever iconic front straightaway down into turn 1. Not a lot of banking here as we ride on the gyro cam. Down the back straightaway, there's about equal speed between Broström and Forrester. I'll see what their lap times are at the start-finish line this time around, but I believe that reel-in for Matthew Dalton was just only got into the outside wall there for sure. A little bit of sparks flew. But Nigel de Jong has increased the gap back to 0.7 seconds, and it's rapidly gaining. As we compare the gap and the lap times between these two drivers, Broström and Forrester, 54.26 versus they're basically an exact 10th off, just going by the decimal places here. So quite literally an equal 0.1 second difference. And it shows on the racetrack for sure between Forrester and Broström. Mike Robertson and the 13 of Robert Noble Andy also in pit road. We saw from the onboard a little bit of distance has gained, and massive crash must have happened. We're going to take this opportunity to look at a replay as well. Robertson hasn't been in pit road for long. He actually spun into pit road with the 13 of Noble Eddie. This happened just off of turn number 4. Oh no, lost traction with the 13. So he saved it, but he almost had it. Collected the 54 Robertson, who spun into pit road, into both walls. Same with the 13 that was in pit road, so of course it didn't. Oh, that would have caused a caution if the main pack was coming through. And again, more insult to injury for the 54. So pretty obvious that both of those drivers are out for the race. Well, here's Ian Cornish, 5th place, all on his lonesome, with nothing much to do. I believe he could be... Oh, he's not actually. I was about to say, I believe he could be reeling in the 44, but 0.07 seconds says otherwise. Almost 0.06 second difference, actually. And the faster of the two was Jake Forrester the last time around. I believe Cornish got a little bit of the wall off turn number 4 as well, as well the entire field is incredibly spread out. A 0.7 second gap still remains between De Jong and Dalton. As right now we're seeing Forrester just laying on the back bumper essentially of Linus Broström. We can't really see the 44 do anything else, as well. He does have just that little bit of a distance, but it's not enough. Oh, he got a little bit loose off there as well, off turn number 3. Oh man, he had a little bit of a wiggle there as well off turn 4, so he's definitely wheeling that truck as best as he can, as Broström temporarily falls out of the universe for a second. Coming to halfway this time by, as well, De Jong has led at 23. Well, actually, at the start-finish line, he's going to be leading 24 of the 25 laps completed. So we could be seeing a new statistic pop up and a new statistic leader, or at least an addition in terms of, and Asher De Jong. I was going to hit the wall off turn 2 there, or turn 3. Oh man, we saw that move from Dalton. Fishtailed ever so slightly as we are officially halfway throughout this race. 25 laps complete, 25 laps to go, 24 laps led by Nigel De Jong. As this is the Racing Line Broadcasting, Racing Line Broadcasting Network, bringing you, as per usual, the My Turn Racing Truck Series. This is race 5 of 9, as Nigel De Jong is still in the lead and dominating as per usual. Don't go anywhere, as we will be right back after this break.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Back live as caution has just come out. Oh man, Doug Kinray and the 27 of Jonathan Rex. Now, if that is a commentator, of course, I have no idea what is, but caution is out on the front straightaway here at Indianapolis after a massive wreck off turn number 4. Jonathan Rex gets loose, slams the inside wall in front of the 59, in front of the 64, in front of the 303 as well. So about a 4-car incident. My goodness. Indianapolis is just claiming pretty much anybody and everybody at this rate. And yeah, that was Stuart Barnett that barely avoided the wreck. And he was downshifting as well, trying to get some type of momentum. Probably saving his tires as well, but we'll see the wreck. There goes the 27 into the wall. Oh man, I don't know if there's actually any contact or not. That was pretty close. But for now, we will head back live, and we'll see if we can get any better angles to see if he actually made it contact or not. It didn't look like it for sure, but it can never be too short because he was moving at a very quick rate of speed there. So, but we could also zoom in and see if he has anything on his front bumper. Does not appear to be so. Not at all. Just a little bit of. Splitter damage, but doesn't look to be anything else major at the very least. Let's see if we can zoom in right here, actually. Yeah, there's nothing on that front bumper on the right front. Doesn't look anything to be out of the ordinary, so he definitely avoided that somehow. Props to him on that. We're going to see who comes to pit road, who stays out. DeJong, Dalton, Brostrom, Forrester staying out. Looks to be John Jarrett. That's actually, yeah. So pretty much the top 10, save for a few other drivers. Although John Jarrett is, if he laps down, so pretty much the entire top 11 drivers are all in pit road. Chris Bourne taking some tires. Same with Nigel DeJong. Reese Saunders barely saw him reverse, and that's going to really cost him. As already 3 drivers in front of him are already up on their left. They're down and away. DeJong is going to be first off. Second, Dalton. Third is Forrester. Fourth is Cornish, as everyone just nails the cones. That's going to take a while to clean up. But either way, Saunders is 9th off of pit road. He had overshot his pit stall ever so slightly as well. And it's the small moments that unfortunately that really gets you. You can see him just overshoots pit stall ever so slightly. He has to back up, and well, that's pretty much that overall. But back to the Stuart Barnett avoidance. We're going to see if we can get a better camera angle of his avoidance there, because that definitely does take talent. I will say that. Somehow he managed to avoid it. Somehow he managed to scrape through, so there's no really visible damage. Maybe he made just a little bit of contact. We'll see. Actually, yeah, now it does appear that he made just ever so slightly, just a little bit of contact. Replay coming up here in a few moments' time. As it's going to be a really slow down, 1/16th of a second. And we'll see the 27 just casually just flying by in this shot. But look at the right front of the 303. It didn't look like he had damage, but no, he definitely did. Yeah, well, maybe he didn't. He only had a 14-second pit stop, so we'll see. Just right there, just a little bit of contact. And from on board, it didn't look like much. So either way, Stuart Barnett still going strong. He's still in this race, but not as strong as Nigel DeJong, who is currently in first place for the time being. He pretty much has been throughout the whole race. So we're gonna see if anyone has anything to challenge that number 20, because Matthew Dalton is in second. The drivers in front of them are going to be back on the lead lap given the 1 to go signal. So we'll see what the pace car lights do this time by, as the caution is being displayed pretty much around the racetrack on not only the lights but as well as the TVs, which is great technology. But we'll see if lights turn out this time by. So that was a very great run that we had before this third caution had come out. Across the start-finish line this time by, everyone's eyes are on the lights, on the pace car, as it crosses the start-finish line, and the lights will shut off. That means you have a 1 to go signal. So 18 laps to go once we get to the green flag. And we'll see if anyone can challenge Nigel de Jong for this lead. He has been pretty dominant throughout this whole race, so everyone in the watching the stream, go ahead and make your predictions if you want, but I'm thinking Nigel de Jong. Field rolling through turns 3 and 4, in between the short chutes of between turns 3 and 4, quite literally, into turn number 4 and onto the front straightaway, as the pace car is going to pull off, make its usual hard left-hand turn into its safety of pit road. There it goes. Green flag is out, and we are back underway. And again, Nigel de Jong with a great start, but it's going to be a little bit scrambled here heading into turn 1 and 2. Jake Forster is now up to second on Matthew Dalton, as Dalton did not get going whatsoever, unfortunately. Brostrom hangs on to 4th for the time being. Cornish still remains in the 5th place position. And look at Jake Forster, and look at this background over here. Saunders trying to challenge 3 wide. This is not going to work out too well for somebody, let alone all 3 of these drivers make it through turn 3 as Carl Hayes backs out. Josh Wong stuck on the top side. Cloud cover from the sun. It's very visible now on the racetrack. So if that remains, we could get a cool down on the racetrack. This cloud cover remains for some time, and it doesn't look like it will. Some sparks flying as someone got a little piece of the outside wall entering turns 1 and 2. Still side by side for position number 8, Josh Wong and Mark Redford trying to battle as a 303. Barnett looks to the inside as well. It's not going to work out for him though, as he will back off and remain in that top, that 10th place position. That's definitely cloud cover over in turns 3 and 4. As Ian Cornish is on the back bumper, cloud cover looks to be all over the racetrack now for the time being. this remains to the end of the race. The track could really cool down and help out some of these drivers. Looks to be a little bit of front end damage for the 81 as well. Let's see if we can point that out to you. Looks to be just a little bit on the left-hand side of that hood. Looks to be just around this area right here. This portion of the hood looks to be a little bit crumpled up. But right now, look at how close Ian Cornish is to the back bumper, even with a little bit of damage, supposedly. Let's see if we can get a shot from the back of Linus Brostrom's car, actually. Yeah, there's a little bit of damage, and it's very visible there. It's quite literally bent out of shape. But Cornish is hanging on very strong, and Saunders as well is out to the back bumper of Cornish. The gap between Jake Forrester and Matthew Dalton is now 1.3 seconds. And the gap between Nash DeJong and Jake Forrester is 0.433 seconds. Now 0.449. So it is fluctuating in the 0.4 range. And I don't believe that the 44 is... Now he actually has. He's participated in the last two of, and this rate, 5 races here. This is his 3rd race, I should say. So 3rd of 5 races here at Indianapolis. He has not won here. Neither has Nash DeJong. And in terms of the point standings, while Jake Forrester is currently sitting in 11th after missing last week at Lucas Oil Raceway. Meanwhile, battle in front of the 91 of Saunders as Cornish had finally gotten around Brostrom. Jake Forrester is trying to hang on, but a little bit of a mess up that time around, as the gap comparison now is 0.5 seconds. So Forrester, he had a run, but for the time being, though, it doesn't look like it. This overcast has definitely stayed for a few laps, and over time it will definitely be cooling down the racetrack. And by the end of this race, well, we're going to see if it's either Forrester or DeJong. DeJong seems to have quickly adapted to it for the time being. At the moment, though, look at that. An entire 1/10 of a second gained and then lost within, well, the back straightaway and then turn 3 between this 20 and 44. Jake Forrester, well, I did mention I thought DeJong could win. Well, still sticking by it because that's still fluctuating. At the last lap time this time around, we'll wait. 53.69, 53 points, actually no, 0.2 of a second faster as DeJong. Actually, no, I read that wrong. Just under 1/10 of a second faster as Forrester last time around, but Forrester, unfortunately, does not have the momentum. So it could be all everybody wrote, unless something happens, which I'm not going to specifically name, as, well, commentators curse. But, you know, I'm going to say either way, if a caution does come out, this could put Forrester maybe in line for a win, but he's made 5 pit stops as compared to DeJong's 2. Remember, Jake Forrester did pit just a little bit earlier on, so. Meanwhile, Matthew Dalton is still in 3rd place. He's hanging on back to where he started. We're going to head through pretty much the top 10 at this rate, as everyone's pretty spread out for the most part. So we do have the 20 instead of the 41 of Nash DeJong as the cloud cover is letting up in turns 3 and 4. It's still over there in turns 1 and 2. What seems to be from that camera angle. De Jong has not really left the first place position on the racetrack outside of pit road for 2 laps. Jake Forrester, he started 7th. He's currently in 2nd. Matthew Dalton back to where he started, 3rd place. Cornish is back up to 4th after flying back to about 8th, I believe. Lance Brosham started 11th. He is 6 positions up to 5th. Reese Saunders has also fallen back 2 positions as, his highest position was 2nd. He started 4th, and he's currently 6th. So the even numbers are strong with his car today. Look at Carl Hayes. He started 24th, and he's up to 7th. My goodness, Carl Hayes is probably the most luckiest driver here. As Josh Wong, 3 positions out from where he started in 8th place. Mark Redford, he's 1 position up from where he started in 9th. And Stuart Barnett, 5 positions up from where he started, which was 15th. And Chris Bourne gained 10 positions to get to 11th. Robert Noble Eddy started 17th. He is currently in 12th. Almost getting the wall off turn number 1 there as well. Well, the gap has increased once again back to its usual 1 second plus. And the interval between Jake Forrester and Matthew Dalton is 0.6 seconds. So we could see Matthew Dalton back up in 2nd place. That's just over a matter of what happens over these next 8 laps. We're going to ride on board for a lap here with the 40, with actually the 6 of Matthew Dalton. We're going to see what it's like to drive around here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And you can see how much Matthew Dalton was reeling in at number 44 of Jake Forrester. 0.3 seconds away into the outside wall. That's going to completely ruin his momentum already. Spoke way too soon there as well. He somehow kept the momentum. He has lost a little bit of time though, for sure. Forrester trying to break the draft as well by moving down to the inside, or at least the middle line. Yeah, 0.4 seconds off now, as you can see. Again, Matthew Dalton just a little bit of a I guess a little bit of a fishtail, of course, off of turn at number 4 there. Meanwhile, Nigel de Jong is leading with 5 laps to go. At this rate, if a caution comes out, the race is virtually over as well. Mark Redford and Stuart Pomfrey, they're both in pit road right now. Not sure what for, as Pomfrey looks to be getting just a splash and go based off of his pit stop time of 6.8 seconds. At least 2 tires as well is what I'm expecting. Or, not expecting, but more assuming. Meanwhile, Matthew Dalton has somehow finally gotten around Jake Forrester, so Forrester must have messed up. 4 laps to go this time by, and Forrester's stuck between Cornish and Dalton. Cornish looks to the inside, decides against it. Forrester also looks to the inside, a little bit more than the 6. This is about for second, by the way, as well. De Jong is pretty much just cleared out already. He's 2.1 seconds ahead of, well, is now the 6 of Dalton. Cornish moves to the inside for third, with 3 laps to go at the start-finish line. The points leader makes his way to third. Oh, huge wiggle by Cornish off the corner. Somehow he manages to hang on to that. Both drivers, Forrester more than the 81 that hit the wall of turn number 2 or turn number 1. He heard Forrester let up the corner as well, but that still wasn't enough. And the caution is out on the racetrack. That's for 71 of Brostrom, where it spun off to the inside. That's coming to 2 laps to go. We're going to see what happened here. 91 on top of the back bumper of Brostrom. Was the bumper put to them? Yeah, it may have. It may have been. Definitely made contact there. That's where the caution was pretty much displayed. He hung on to it for the most part, but unfortunately caution is out. 2 laps to go. So the race is pretty much definitely over at this point. We'll see if there's any contact made. Yeah, just a little bit of contact made there. I'm pretty sure Saunders did not want to do that, but man. And we'll see what the engine sounded like from the back of Brostrom, starting all the way in the front straightaway as well. And it just seemed to be Saunders was just a little bit faster. Maybe misjudged the distance, but unfortunately what's happened has already happened, so. Coming to the white flag under the caution is going to be the temporarily number 20 of Nigel de Jong. With the unofficial 1 lap to green, as that's not going to happen. Four cautions over 50 laps is actually not too terrible. And we could already just start to interview Nigel de Jong now, but we'll wait just a little bit since, quite literally anything could happen. Same with Ian Cornish. and Matthew Dalton as well. Being waved around the pace car was that 13 of Robert Nobiletti. So the race, unfortunately, finishing under caution as De Jong picks up what I believe is going to be his third win of 5 races. And just as an unofficial guess, possibly De Jong could be moving up to at least the second or third place position in points. More than likely the second place position, as Josh Wong is a few positions behind. Cornish, De Jong as well. So aside from that, though, across the start finish line, and De Jong wins here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Matthew Dalton finishes second. Third place is Ian Cornish. As the race is officially over, unofficial results at the top of the screen for the time being. In fact, we could just do that right now. And, well, we all saw what had happened. And, well, Nigel De Jong finishes in first after starting first. The entire top 3 finishes in almost the exact same position. Dalton second, third Ian Cornish. Jake Forrester finishes 4th, 5th place is Reese Saunders. Carl Hayes, I believe, with the most positions gained, finishes in 6th. Josh Wong, Elias Broström, Stuart Barnett, Chris Bourne round out your top 10. And then we have Redford, Nobiletti, Summers, Pomfrey, Simon, Robertson, Kinraid, Jarrett, Jonathan Rex, and Adam Wright, rounding out 11th through 20th. And we're going to wait to do the rest as De Jong is going to decide to burn it down here at the infamous Brickyard, the 5th driver to win in 5 different races here at this track in this league. That's how to properly do a burnout, brought to you by Nigel De Jong. As we have 21st to 28th, Simon Marshall, Jim Carr, Doug Pickering, Aaron Maspero, Mark Murphy, Ashley Blakehood, and Christopher Kearney, along with Carl Jacqueline, rounding out your final 28 car field. And just a few moments, we're going to see if De Jong jumps in here for an interview. But aside from that, we're definitely going to go for Ian Cornish here in just a few moments' time. We're not going to go to break as, well, normally we would, but aside from that, I decided not to, since the race did finish under caution. So we're going to wait just a few moments here to get the number 81 in here, the 3rd place finisher as well as your points leader heading into this race. And just got news, unfortunately, that Nigel De Jong does not have a working microphone, so he unfortunately cannot do an interview. He's more than likely happy, though. So thanks for that notice, Mr. De Jong, and we will get Cornish in here for sure. I don't think Matthew Dalton is available either, but aside from that, we will have Ian Cornish here. Ian Cornish, you have a copy.
Hi, Gary. How's it going?
It is going wonderful as well. You had managed to again somehow pull yourself from, I believe, eighth place at the very least back up to the top three. So you're definitely on the roll once again for this season. How was the track out there, and did the cloud cover play any effect into the final few laps as well?
Um, well, it was a difficult start because I had a few internet problems at the start, which you probably saw. So I managed to sort those out, but that sort of put me back a little bit. I had a little minor incident with Josh on pit road. He checked up when I wasn't expecting him to, and I just gave him a little tap on the back, which gave him a little bit of damage. So I got it all fixed, but it was a little bit slow down the straights. Not a lot, maybe just a mile an hour or two. But yeah, I was happy to get back up there in the end. Yeah. Had a nice little battle with Linus and Jake for a while there as well. So all in all, I think it's a pretty decent result.
Yeah, it's definitely a great result as well as again, well, like I mentioned, you've also not just Dijon, but you've also been on a tear. You've been pretty much leading in the points just by finishing within pretty much anywhere close to Dijon. He is slowly starting the game up in the point standings, however, so there is that to, I guess, maybe worry about. But you have been pretty dominant in the point standings just by not even winning.
Yeah, I think the problem is that when you take drop weeks into account, then he's probably actually ahead of me, I guess. He's been getting bonus points for sticking it on pole as well. So I'm probably going to end up needing Nigel to wreck out of a race in order to win the championship, but we'll see.
I mean, that is possible as well, so that could also play into effect. But until then, as I actually just want to double check on this before we let you go and ask you to give some shout outs. What are your thoughts for, well, not really thoughts, but what are you looking forward to next week? Because we do head to the Roval next week, and personally, I've never seen the trucks there, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite interesting, especially with that backstraight chicane. Your thoughts for the Roval?
Yeah, I no idea how I'm going to perform there. I don't even own the track yet. Or is it free? I
Yeah,
don't know. If you have to buy it, then
it's free.
if it's free, then I've got it, I guess. But I've never driven a lap there, so we'll see. I'll do a bit of practice during the week and see if I can get up to some kind of decent speed, I guess.
Yeah, it's free. It came with the base as
Okay.
well, so you are fine with that. So
Yeah, well, we'll turn in some practice laps and see where we are.
yeah, see what happens. I will warn you, watch out for that back straight chicane. That is both fun
Yeah.
and deadly.
Uh-huh.
Of course, before we let you go, as per usual, any shout outs or anyone that you'd like to thank for your third place finish?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank John and the admin team for putting this on every Sunday night, and yourself, Gary, for broadcasting these races. Yeah, really always enjoy watching them back.
That's absolutely wonderful to do these as well. So we are going to go ahead and let you go. Thanks for your time once again, and congratulations on your third place finish.
Cheers, Gary.
So that was Ian Cornish finishing third. I don't think Matthew Dalton either has a working microphone or I completely forgot. But either way, Dijon for sure does not have a working microphone, unfortunately. So we can't interview him. We'll probably interview him next week, just as qualifying is ending. But aside from that, before we sign off, we'll let you know of a couple things. As once again, well, next week we head to the Roval at Charlotte. So for the first time that I've seen the trucks there personally, I'm pretty sure the first time anyone has seen the trucks there. So that's going to be quite interesting for sure. And as well as after a few technical issues over on iRacing side, we could not get the Monday race of the Red Light Scrambler series up at Lime Rock Park. So that has been pushed back 1 week. That's been pushed back to tomorrow night. So the entire season of the Red Light Scrambler series has been pushed back by pretty much an entire week overall. So we hope to see you tomorrow night once again, provided everything is properly working. And we, as we sign off as well, we would love to congratulate, as per usual, Nigel Dijon on, I believe, his third win. And pretty much his first one as well, on a ironically different car number. So Again, congratulations to Nasha De Jong on his win this afternoon at the Brickyard. And we hope to see you tune in tomorrow night and next week for the Red Light Scrambler Series and this series as well, the My Turn Racing Truck Series. We thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you next time.